Hello everyone, hope you are doing great and welcome to the Blup series for beginners. And in this version of this video, we are going to go through BlupSheets and we are going to look into the process of its workings and its functionalities that are there with Blup. And let's go through it. So for BlupSheets, you can go over here. This is as it shows BlupSheets. You can click on it and this opens up this panel which is called BlupSheets. And in this panel, let me just make it full screen. So this panel basically, as you can see, this gives you like a table format. And right now I have opened this clusters table. So this is the table. As you can see, I can scroll it. It scroll horizontal as well as vertical depending on the data. And in this you have bunch of these rows. So this is basically a kind of like a database system. And if we talk about the fields, so it has simple text fields. As you can see, it has this date and time field, and in this you can give it date and time as you like. Let me just show it to you what kind of fields we have. So go over here, change field type if you want to do that. Right now I have selected the paragraph. It is for if you are going for a blogs or something like that, you can use paragraph. Single line text, if it is like a simple text and you just want to store it, you can do that. You wanna have images, like you can see over here, you can convert it into an image, video, attachment, date and time, numbers, and external API. So these are the field types for it. So for paragraph, as you can see, it is for like multi-line purpose, and you can just go through it. And yeah, so it has bunch of these bold, italic, and you can do a lot of stuff over here. Okay, so these are for like blogs. Name, you can just add some kind of a name here if you want. These are the images, you can just drag and drop those images over here. For videos as well, you can just drag and drop. Files, any kind of file you want, you can drag and drop. For the phone number, you can drag and drop as well. So if you want to do this horizontal scroll with the mouse, you just have to hold shift and use your scroll wheel on your mouse. And for a touchpad, you can just do a 2-finger scroll horizontally. It will move horizontally like this. Okay, so let's try to create a new table. So over here at the bottom, you can see this plus sign. You just have to click on it and it will create a new table for you. So in this table, we already have fields, name and field 1. Then I can give it any kind of a name. Let's say, and you can even change this name to something else if you want. I wanna change it to let's say ID kind of a thing. I don't know, like, but you can change it to anything. So for ID, you can even convert it into a number if you want. And now this is just a number. So over here, only numbers will work. So I will say 1. Over here I can say it to be a name, or let's say, what should we call it? Let's call it name. You don't necessarily need to use IDs, but I just have used it just as an example. And let's say Jim as a name. Let's take that. And if you want more columns, then you can just press over here. It will create a new column for you, and you just have to keep pressing it. It will create new columns for you, and all the data can be accessible by the application. Let me just show it to you. So right now in this example, I'm going to use this clusters table, and in this table we are going to call name and the images, and we are going to populate these two things on the application. So let's see how it works. So let me just create a new page, and in this new page let's create a item that we are going to populate the elements of that blup sheet into. Let me just create this thing like this. We don't need it to be a square, we can just make it a rectangle. For text, let me just write name as well over here. I'll just give it some rounded corners, and let me just bring it over here and make it bring it in the center. Let's just increase its size, and for the font let's use Poppins and bring it here. And what else we can do is we can just take it over there and give it a padding from the left side. So this will make sure that if the data is dynamic, if the text has different kind of values, then it will take care of it. So I think, let me just reduce it a little bit. This is the item. I will just drag it, select everyone, right click, list, and now this is a list. I just have to go here, just drag it. I will just make it full screen. Now what we can do is we just have to edit it inside the BlupLightning. Now we have this whole pair over here. We will just drag it. We need text. We need rectangles. We don't need this one because this is behind. This is the background rectangle, so we don't need it. So I just have put it backside. And for the text is over here. These are the two rectangles that we need. Okay, so now what we need to do is we need to go over here and look for the BlupSheets. Now we have this BlupSheets, and in this thing you just as you can see, we have table, select, where, order by. For more understanding the BlupSheet, you can also look into the documentation. And for now, let's see, what we need to do is we need to call this BlupSheets, and as you can see in the clusters table we have name and we have the image. So what we need to do is we need to go to this plus icon and choose the clusters, press OK, choose this plus icon again for the select, and now we are going to choose the column names. So we need names and we need images. Click OK. For BlupSheet we need init state, initial state. It will call it once whenever that page is built. It will run this thing, and when we will receive the data, then we can just use this thing. So for that, what we need to do is first of all we need to give length to the list view. So what we need to do is we need to just go to the names, select length, and put it inside the item count. Then take the iterator. We need a current index, and let's call element at. Take this, put it inside the name, bring it over here, current index inside this index. Then we will receive the items, and then pass that item inside the text. Simple. And we need one more element at. Now use this for populating the images. We have this list, we need an index. We will go over here again and bring this index over here and use this item inside the rectangles file path as well as inside this file path. So this is done, and this is all we need to do. So let's just run it. Before hot reload, let me bring this thing up. Let me just hot reload it. Open it up. Okay, so right now I have to connect it on the page home page as well. So right now the page navigator is on the home page, so it is calling itself again and again. So what we need to do is we need to go over here, call for the new page 6, and go over here and do the hot reload. Now if I open it up, it will open these items for me. So what the thing is left is this spacing in between that I have not given to it. So let's give some item spacing. Let's give it this much. I think is enough. And we can even give some spacing on the top, but it needs to be a padding that is going to be inside. So on the top, internal padding, let's give it internal padding of around 40, I think. It should be enough. Let's hot reload it. Yep, so this is the thing. So now we have these items over here, as you can see. So these are all the items that were there inside the BlupSheets, as you can see. So this is how we use BlupSheets, and this is the simple version for it. And what else we can do? We can go back over here. So right now we have just selected the select thing. Directly we can insert, update and delete as well if we want. We will come to this later on. Now what we need to do is we need to let's try out where. So for where, what we can do is we can say, let me just bring this thing up in the BlupSheets. Let's say we need to call the items only those which has what should we call that has David into it. So this name has David. This last one also has David, so it should return us just the 2 elements. If we say in the name we just need it to be David, it should contain David name. So yeah, so for that let's go back over here, and inside the where we can choose the column name, hit OK, and we don't need equal to. 1 second, let me just bring it over side. Go over here, choose name, okay. And now we don't need equals to, we need equals to this argument on the both side. Let's take it for the both sides. So wherever that David name would be present inside a string, it will return it will return to us. So let this thing be an argument, and done. So over here we need to pass in a string, and let's call it David. Pass it back over here. We don't need to use order by. Order by is simple. It is for ascending, descending. If you want to give an order to the data that you are receiving, and it supports 2 types of order by, ascending and descending. and this is limit. So over here you can limit the result whatever number you want, and you can press it up, you can give a number, and it should be an integer, or you can just give it an argument. Okay, so for now let's just run this thing. So it should return us two items that has David name in their what do you call it, in the result. So let me just hot reload this thing, and let's open it up. So as you can see, we just have two elements that has David inside it. So moving forward, let's check out the real time that is there in the BlupSheets. So for working with the real time, so real time, if we talk about what is real time, so it basically is a functionality that helps you to update the data, the list, or any kind of a UI in a real time. And that means that it will be updated as soon as an update is there on the server. So let's see how it works. So you just have to take this thing and do a hot restart, because it is connected with the init state. So to see the changes, you have to do the init state for it. So I will just open it up, and as you can see the list over here. So I will go over here inside the BlupSheets, and if I as you will see, as soon as I will change the data over here, so I will change BlupLi to the BlupLi updated, and boom, you can see the list is updated. So that's how it works, and you can just bring it back as well, like I just changed it, and then it will be changed back to what it was before. So that is how it works. So this is all about real time. So now moving forward, let's look into the other functionalities of BlupSheets. So right now we were using select, and we have all these other bunch of functionalities like insert, update, and delete. So for that, what we are going to do is we are going to create a new page, and let's just copy all of this whole UI onto this new page. And now we are just going to do exactly what we did for the HTTP over here. And for that, what we are going to do is we are going to add it in BlupLightning, open it up. Let's open it for this text field as well. Bring this button. Let's call BlupSheets. It is going to be called on click of the submit button, and it will take before taking let's go over here. So what we are going to do is let's first delete this table. And so over here we are going to create a new table. So now our new table is created, and we have these two columns, name and fields. And let me just change this thing to job, as we have these two fields, name and job. So I have just changed them to name and job. So it's not necessary to change them with exactly the same name, but it is up to you. So for the convenience, I've changed it to the similar name. So for now, let's swap the panel and come over here, and Let's insert it. We have already seen how select works. Let's go to the insert. So for the insert, we are going to call over here the table. Our table is called table1. For the insert, we are going to choose the column names, name and job. Both of them are over here, and these two needs data. So on text changed, we get this text and we pass the first text field inside over here. So this is a list type, and over here this small dot takes a single value inside the list. If you just have a single item and you want to pass it inside a list, then you just have to use this smaller circle. It basically takes a string inside it. So let's just do this. We have another text. Let's pass it over here. So we have two text field, and whenever I will press on click, it will take the data from here inside the insert. It will go inside the insert. So what else we need? We need to show the on success thing. So let me just bring in the string, use run trigger, and let's connect it with its on query success. Let's say success over here, and pass this data inside the text. So it is saying on query success, it will say success inside this text inside over here. So basically this is it. This is all we need. So now what we need to do first of all is we have to go to this home page and redirect it from page 6 to page 7, because this page is called page 7 this time around. Go over here, do the hot restart. Press open it up. Let's put a name. First of all, let me just call in this blup sheet. It is right now empty, so let's call it Sam Joe something, and job, let's call him an inventor, and submit. I'll just press this. It is a success. You can refresh it, and boom, as you can see, you have text over here. You can even change it to something else. Let's say John Walter something, and let's call him physician, something like that. Press submit, refresh, and there you have the second field. So that's how insert works. So now let's go over here. Let's go to the page 7, and from insert let's go to the update, and let's say this time around I want to update the fields. If I want to update the John Walters field from physician to technician, let's say that. So for that, what we can do is we can go back to this thing, and what we can do is, now we have already converted into update. It needs a where. So in the column name, we are going for the name, which is equals to an argument, and that argument is what we are going to pass in as a string. This output is going to be inside as an input, and over here I am going to write Sam Walter. So this is over here, this is saying that if it finds a column name which has Sam Walter in it, it is going to update that field with whatever new data it will receive from these two text fields. So this is basically it, and let's just hot restart it. Open it up. Let me bring this up. It is physician right now. I can even change the name. Let's say John Walter updated. And job is now technically success. Refresh it. Okay, so we have put a wrong name, so that's why it was not updating the field. So what we have to do is we have to change its name to John and Walter. So now we just have to do the hot restart. Open it up. Let's do it again. John Walter updated. Job technician. Submit. We might have received success. Refresh it, and now boom, you can see the result. So that's how the update works. Now let's see, let's look into the delete. So now if I want to delete a field, we can do the similar kind of a thing. So now we don't need these two fields. Let's say I want to remove the field which has John Walter updated inside it. Let me check the name once again. John Walter updated. Okay. So now what I'm saying is delete the field, delete the row which contains John Walter updated name. That's it. It is saying so. Let me just hot restart it. Open it up. Press submit. And refresh it. And boom, it is gone. So that's how delete works. So, thank you everyone for joining this series, and let me know if you have any kind of a question into the comments, and hope to see you again. Bye bye.